I'm going to dive into things that you can do, the shifts that you can make to create more empowerment and more abundance. So here's the thing. When we want somebody to do something or we want to give somebody advice, we often say, you should do this or you should try this. Now, the word should is kind of a trigger word, and it triggers kind of a negative relationship to the thing that we're suggesting. You should work out more. You should eat less, right? We hear the word should in the context of all the things that we aren't and all the things that we're not enough as, right? So should is very closely associated to that energetic. For example, when I lead my mastermind groups, I tell people, please avoid the word should. I invite you to consider using I invite you to consider instead. So that's how we get around the word should. It serves two purposes. When we say I invite you to consider this idea, number one, we're allowing the person the sovereignty to either consider it or not consider it. It's an invitation. They don't have to say yes. And the second thing we're doing is a little more subtle, which is we're detaching from it as well. A lot of times when we say you should do something, we are attached to that person doing the thing. And so when we say, I invite you to consider, there's a looseness to it. There's a detachment to it. There's an allowing of the other person to make their sovereign decision. We're not attached to whether they take our advice or don't take our advice. So it's a good training all around to drop the word should and replace it with, I invite you to consider.